All right, guys, welcome back to Deeper Than Most. I'm your host, DJ.
And I'm your host, Sav.
So, today we're looking at episode 21.
We are. We're officially in the 20s.
Damn. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
And it is part 9 of our FNC series. Yeah, speaking of shit going by fast, bro. We're getting through those.
50 states, y'all.
Almost in double digits there, too. You know, once you hit that mark, then it's just...
Yeah, it started flying by after you hit double digits.
So, the case we're looking at today is based out of Tallahassee, Florida. Florida. Jesus.
If you don't know, that's where your lovely host DJ is from.
Yeah.
Not Tallahassee per se, but Florida.
Florida in general. We all know how Florida goes. So, we're going to be looking at...
Crazy stuff keep happening in Florida.
Too much. So, we're going to be looking at the case of the Sims family tragedy. And this happened in a little small town in Florida back in 1966.
Ooh, this is an old one.
Yeah.
Interesting. There was some crazy stuff happening in the 60s, too.
So
it was a wild time.
Yeah.
And bear with us, you guys, but it's hot as hell. So if you hear our AC in the background, it's not really doing anything for us, but we just need it because we had to turn the fan off to get this episode done. So just bear with us. Yeah. It's super hot. It's like 107 degrees in Oregon.
Yeah.
Global warming is finally catching up to us, y'all. We need to start doing better.
Shit is fucking real. Stop littering.
Literally, like something's got to give. Something's got to change. This is not a good sign. Because in the Pacific Northwest, it doesn't really get hot like this in the summer. Like hot to us in the summer is like 85, maybe hitting the 90s. No, this is like dangerously hot. So this is not a good sign.
It's like heat stroke.
The world's going to shit.
It's been shit. It's been shit. Y'all gotta fix that. Y'all know what's up.
Okay. So let's get into these current events.
Well, we only have one this time.
Okay. That's fine.
You know, yeah. Sometimes you just find what you find.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this current event is called Space Trip. Space Perspective, a human spaceflight company in Florida, on last Wednesday, began selling tickets for its inaugural voyage Voyage Way?
Yeah, that's how it was written in the thing.
Oh, okay. Its inaugural voyage way high into the sky at $125,000 a pop. Damn.
$125,000. I don't got that type of money. But if I had
we could save. I got some budgeting strategies. Get at me. The trip is scheduled for late 2024 aboard the spaceship Neptune, a hot air balloon styled... Whoa, hot air balloon? How'd that work in space? A hot air balloon style craft lifted by hydrogen. Ooh, interesting. Anyone interested in this trip must pay a $1,000 deposit.
Fucking wreck.
Honestly, that sounds worth it. If I had the money, I would do it. And hopefully by 2024, we'll have the money and we could just like go for our anniversary or something.
Definitely worth it.
Or go get married out there. Oh, that'd be some shit. Tell people.
First space win.
I swear to God. And just like, FaceTime folks, because who's going to come?
I don't want to FaceTime.
Yeah, we getting married in space, y'all.
Y'all niggas coming? How we going to get there? We ain't got no money. How? Oh, y'all expected us.
I'm hoping by 2024.
Oh, I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the guests. We good.
Whoever we fuck with is
on
that shit.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But
they're going to be mad to the motherfucker. What you mean in space?
That sounds very interesting, though. It's just so crazy to think that we are getting this far in technology and travel and just utilizing like energy and resources. It's just crazy to see how we're continuing to progress, like always. It never stops. And honestly, it's just going to keep going by quicker and quicker from here on out. So that is our current event for today, and we are going to hop into this case. And this one's crazy. This one's a triple murder. So bear with us. It does include a child as well. Yeah, so
now we're going to get into the when and where. Saturday, October 22nd, 1926. 1966, my bad. In Tallahassee, Florida. And this took place at 641 Muriel Court Drive. This is the location of their home in a small town named Leon County.
Okay, so a little bit about the Sims. That's kind of funny that their name is Sims.
Yeah.
In our last episode, we were talking about the simulation theory and how life could be like the Sims. So,
yeah.
continuing with that frequency illusion. So, the family consisted of the father, who was Dr. Robert Sims. He was 42 years old and was the director of data processing for the Florida Department of Education. Damn.
That's a job.
That's
a
kind of
real
impressive. That's a flex.
That's cool as fuck, yeah.
Yeah. His wife, who was the mother, Helen Sims, was 34 years old, a former secretary at Tallahassee's First Baptist Church. That's a pretty interesting job.
Yeah. A church secretary?
Yeah. And their two children, Joy Sims, who was 12 years old. This was the youngest daughter. They're three children.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And their other two children, Judy Sims and Jenny Sims, the two eldest daughters, and their ages are unspecified.
So, upon further research, I found out that Judy is 15 and Jenny is 17.
Oh. Or was.
Well, no, they're still alive.
I know, but they were.
Well, yeah,
that
at the time,
age.
yeah. At the time, yeah.
Okay.
Getting into the setup. The town showed up by the hundreds to support the Florida State football team against Mississippi State on Saturday night.
Was this town like really big on
So yeah,
sports?
it was definitely a football town, and so it was game night. You know, everybody
the
was
hot
out.
goss.
Yeah,
So everybody was
out.
there.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that sounds about right. Because in small towns, I feel like they take their school sports more serious.
Oh, most definitely.
Because, shit, there ain't
Most
nothing else to
definitely.
do.
Most definitely. So, yeah, you know, it was big, you know, college football night. Everybody's out and ready to support
That
the
sounds
team.
fun.
Yeah, it do sound kind of fun, though.
But then again, crazy shit be happening.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Always.
But,
In October, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, everybody was out of the game except for, you know, the Sims. Because they was either working, well, the teenage girls were working, and then the rest of the family was just at the crib.
What did the teenage girls do?
So they were babysitting for families that were at the game.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't want to take their kids?
Yeah, who didn't want to take their kids. And so that
they was
left,
going to be drinking at the game. That's why it's like, let me stop.
right. They
Yeah.
be fighting and all that crazy stuff. So that left Robert, Helen, and, you know, little Joy at the crib. And they were just having a quiet family night in, watching TV.
Right. And once again, Joy is the youngest daughter.
Yes.
Dang, 3 girls.
Yeah.
That's intense. Really intense.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to set up the scene, or the crime scene itself. At 11:15 p.m., Jenny arrived home to a horrific scene from babysitting. She found her parents and little sister all in the master bedroom, tied up and slaughtered. Jenny called the local funeral home because at the time, 911 was not
just not
a
an emergency
thing?
line at the time.
Yeah, it didn't even exist, y'all. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, she had to call the local funeral home, which was Beavis Funeral Home. That's an interesting name.
It
Beavis.
is.
And she requested service for an ambulance through the funeral home, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Like, that's just like a whole loop-de-loop that you have to do.
Yeah, a whole extra
And it's
process.
kind of crazy, you know, that they thought about that and were like, okay, we need to create something where people can just get,
so,
you know,
like help.
yeah, right away, exactly, and not have to go through X, Y, and Z. So when she got on the phone, she said, something terrible has happened, please come. And that's what she told the funeral director, and that's when he directed her to, well, not directed her, but that's when he got an ambulance for her and sent it to the house. I mean, think about it, like, it could have been, I don't know, I feel like maybe it happened quickly, but at the same time, like, how quick do you think they actually came?
So, yeah.
Because, like, you know, you had to sit there and call the funeral home, tell them what's going on. Then they gotta call the ambulance, tell them your address, tell them what's going on. Like,
because they need all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot.
It's just a whole lot of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. So, looking at the details of the scene, it gets a little interesting. Robert Sims was found in his slacks, sports shirt, and shoes on the couple's king-size bed. He was also blindfolded with a single gunshot wound to his head. Yeah.
That's tough.
Real tough. Just imagine, like, being, you know what I'm saying? Just
like,
coming
why
home with that.
would somebody... I feel like I'm already jumping to conclusions, but I feel like this wasn't a one-person job.
Oh, yeah, no way.
A whole family, like, the husband, the wife.
Yeah, and the kid.
That's just a lot for one person. And, I mean, even if they had a gun to one of their heads, like, that's still just a lot for one person.
It is. It really is.
For it to go that successfully, to tie everybody up.
Right. And then just
and get them all in one room.
And proceed to just do whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just doesn't make sense. So,
Helen and Joy were both found laying bound and blindfolded next to the bed on the beige carpet. And the way that they were found is scary to me. Like, it's just a scary visual. So Helen was found barefoot in pink slacks and a blouse, and she had been shot twice in the head and once in the leg. Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes me think that she was shot in the leg first.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
To kind of, like, you know?
Yeah.
Stir up the heat almost, like, pump it up a notch.
Yeah. And then little Joy, she was in her nightgown, and she had been shot once in the head and stabbed 6 times in the torso.
Whoa.
Yeah. So whoever did it was on it.
That's terrible. Now that makes me think that it was personal.
Yeah, and it was with like a hunting knife or a butcher knife at that.
Wow.
Yeah. So like how? All 3 Sims had been tied and gagged with household items, which most accounts describe it as neckties or socks or lingerie or, hosiery or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Like, household items
being
used. It is a graphic scene, for sure. But household items being used in a crime is just very unsettling to me. Like, to just think that something that is just, an everyday item. Like, I don't know. It's just something more sinister about it. Because who would think of that?
Right.
So,
just like, let me just tie you up with your fucking socks or your tires.
Right, exactly. Well, we're going to take the time to go ahead and thank our sponsors, and we will get back to you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And it's easy to use. And it's easy to use.
Tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast on your computer. Straight from your phone and computer. Making it the best user experience.
Anchor will distribute your podcast so it can be heard on Spotify, and many more. Making it so you don't have to upload to each individual platform.
You can make money. The best thing about it, you can make money straight from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM. And that's Anchor.fm. And that's Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm.
So what are you doing? Download the free Anchor app now. And we're back.
Like a butt crack.
Oh, you saying it now. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So the funeral home owner, Russell Beavis, and his son rushed over once they received the call from Jeannie. So not only were the ambulance on the way, but so was the funeral director. Dr. Sims expired shortly after the Beavis' arrival, but Mrs. Sims was transported to the hospital where she was kept under guard, and little Joy Lynn had been killed instantly. So the daughter was killed instantly, and then Mr. Sims, he died.
Yeah,
they were at the scene.
Yeah, so for him and his wife, they were like still kind of kicking.
Right, but she survived all the way to the hospital.
Yeah, but like you said, he died like as soon as the funeral director got there. So
see, like what if they would have came sooner?
Right, probably could have saved him.
Probably could have saved both of them.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know though. In the head,
two shots.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The second oldest daughter, Judy, was away babysitting as well, but the authorities told the family she was with to keep her there. So even though Jeannie had made it home,
Yeah,
Judy was still out babysitting
Yeah,
the
Judy
whole
hadn't
time.
got there. She didn't
And
even
so-
find out until, you know, like, one say early the next morning.
Damn. Whew.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was basically confined where she was at, basically for her safety, which makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then like they had some family from I believe Mississippi come up and take care of them. So
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
So the first lawman on the scene was Larry Campbell, a 24-year-old investigator who failed to secure the scene. Hours after the news broke, there were nearly 1,000 people who ran through the fucking home.
Yeah.
Are you serious, dude?
I'm not joking. That's how it went.
What? Like, that is just unfathomable to me.
Mm-hmm.
How can you allow something like that to take place?
Right.
Like, make it make
messed up-
sense,
They done
and you
messed up
can't.
everything. They messed up everything.
Yeah, like, what
everything
the
is destroyed.
fuck?
Just it.
And you cannot make that make sense
You
at
can't.
all. Like, there could have been so much shit at the scene. A
Could've
scene
been.
like that where it's so personal and there's tying up involved, there's people being bound, and you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like-
confined to one space. Who's to say that he
Right.
didn't put, or the people didn't put their
Right.
hands on them to
Right.
get them in there? So there could be all types of evidence around.
So many different factors that could have been
That is
explored that
terrible.
have been tarnished.
Yeah, that's just wow. That's unbelievable.
So, throwing out some more details. Rocky, who is the funeral home director's son, was a first responder on the scene, and the lead investigator, Larry Campbell, both ruled out robbery. Because when they got
Nothing
there...
was stolen,
yeah,
right?
When they got there, nothing was stolen. Everything was in place. Like, everything... The TV was still on, and all that good stuff. But one detail, which
Damn,
was
they had
kind of...
TVs back then.
Yeah, one detail that was kind of odd, though, was the fact that someone had made coffee in the kitchen.
Like a fresh cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was like a fresh cup of joe.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. And Helen was Helen was transported to the
You
hospital.
didn't read this.
Oh.
With money or something?
There was also no sign of forced injury, and although there was money found laying around, it wasn't disturbed.
Oh, yes,
there was
that's
like
definitely
money, yeah,
not
there
a
was money
robbery,
on
because-
like the dresser, and then there was like
That would've
jewelry
been
on the
gone.
counter. Yeah, so everything was in place.
Yeah, for sure. That's a hit.
Yeah.
Definitely a hit.
Definitely. Because, like, what else?
Yeah.
What else could you attribute it to? Helen was transported to the hospital to be cared for, but her prognosis was very grim. One of the bullets was lodged in her brain, which caused her to be placed on a respirator. And that alone is just
Scary.
scary, sad, and everything. But
Yeah.
there could have been so much done with that, too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if
It's just-
only
Yeah.
911 was a thing,
Yeah.
and they would have been able to get help sooner.
For sure, definitely.
Time is everything when it comes down to
Stuff,
that
cases
type
like
of,
that, yeah.
When it comes down to those types of injuries, like, time is of the essence, for real.
The utmost.
Yeah.
Sadly, she tragically passed away on October 31st, 9 days after the initial incident.
That's clinging on for life, like,
Literally.
for a long time.
Yeah, now, and the way I think about it, I was like, damn,
Like, fighting
what
hard.
if she would have like woken up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. Things probably would have been different. What if
Oh,
she was
most
able
definitely.
to recall who did it?
Or something, yeah, something, anything, you know?
Mm. So, honestly, I feel like all of these cases are unsolved.
Yeah.
So far, all of the ones that we have covered are unsolved, or they're like a missing persons case.
Which is so scary, dude.
But,
it's like I'll be
yeah.
wanting to hear like, yeah, you know, they got justice or like this and that.
Yeah.
Like,
And so far, we haven't had any of that, you guys. And this is no different. This is tragically still unsolved till this day. And this happened in 66.
yeah.
So, this case remains unsolved, and throughout the years, there were very few leads as to who could have been responsible for the murders. As the search carried on, the police believed a pastor that Mrs. Sims worked for, Cecile Albert Sims, shortly before the incident, but he had an airtight alibi. So you think that they thought that he was the one?
Yeah, because the fact that Miss Sims worked for him like shortly before the incident, and
wait, his last name was Sims?
Yeah, his last name was Sims.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
And so she worked for him before the incident took place.
What was his alibi?
And the alibi.
Let me finish reading. Never mind. So go ahead and finish what you were saying now.
But yeah, it was just stated that she had worked for him before, and there was no explanation as to why she stopped working for him or anything like that.
Right.
So they just, like, okay, maybe he's
suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Right.
So he was seen at the FSU football game on the team footage at the time of the murders, and that was his alibi. So obviously there's no possible way that he could have had anything to do with it if you're there, unless he hired like a hitman or something.
Right.
But for what? So the Sims family was loved by the community, and their death shook Leon County to its very core, making it the most notorious crime in this state till this day. So the fact that the case went unsolved frightened the community so much so that they canceled trick-or-treating that year in the fear that the killer was on the loose. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Like, why would you want to send your kid out?
I not want to send my kids out there. Also,
no, like,
upon further research, I did find out that they suspected 2 other people. There was a female that they didn't identify, and then there was a teen boy that they said would linger around the family, but he had like a weird obsession with Joy Lynn.
That's weird.
So
the little girl?
Yeah, the little girl.
How old was the boy?
And he was like 15, I believe.
How old was Joy Lynn again?
Joy Lynn is 12.
That's just weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's not a huge age gap,
it's
but
not,
like she's
it's still very
middle school,
weird.
he's high school. That's like a whole different playing field.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I wonder what the girl, who the girl was.
Yeah, they didn't have much detail on her.
Damn.
But nothing much came out of it. After a while, they just kind of quit.
Yeah, it went cold.
Yeah, after
no
3
leads.
years, they quit.
And plus, what would the motive be? Especially if they're loved by the whole community.
They were still trying to figure that out too. So
yeah, wow, that's upsetting though.
It's very upsetting.
A whole family, and then the 2 girls are just left to
just have to live their life.
Did you find out what happened to them afterwards?
They just were taken
I wonder
away
if
by their family.
they were probably given to other family members.
Yeah,
that's
in
terrible.
fact, it was their uncle and aunt that actually picked them up.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so.
Damn. Well, that concludes the Tallahassee triple murder case.
Very short, very grim.
Yeah. Pretty damn dark.
Yeah.
But we do have some ending questions, as always. And the first one is, what do you really think happened? And honestly, I don't even know. There's nobody to even suspect. I don't know.
There's no,
what could you say? I don't really know much about the family either, what they did or who they associated with.
It just happened.
I just feel like somebody saw an opportunity, or a group of people saw an opportunity and took that opportunity. But for what reason?
Right.
There isn't a good one.
There's never a good reason when it comes to stuff like this.
It's not worth taking anybody's life. It's not.
It's not. And in terms of my answer to the question, I don't know. Because there's so many questions, what the fuck? I don't get it,
Yeah.
It's just
You had a cat hair on you.
Oh, cute. It's what happened? How did this happen? What,
Yeah.
When specifically did it happen? Because everybody was at the game, so who?
Well, yeah, that's a couple hours at least of time.
And it's so crazy because they didn't.
And back then, it's harder to.
Yeah.
I don't know, piece things together. You don't really have video footage of people surveillance or anything.
And it's because they said they didn't really find much evidence or anything. They even searched the pond that was near the house. They drained it completely. Didn't find anything.
So
nothing.
No murder weapons.
Nothing. So it's like somebody just up and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna kill these people," and that's gonna be that.
Yeah.
And they did it, and
got away with it.
Yeah.
Fucking
got
got away.
away. And so, question number 2: do you believe the case could be solved today?
No, because of that police work. Because of that police work. 1,000 people, dude.
It's over with.
That's the worst I've heard. 1,000 people? Florida, what are y'all doing? 1,000 people. I mean, I get it. Things, they didn't know as much as they do now. Back then, like, that was the 60s.
But, like,
that
still,
was, like,
even,
a long time ago.
Even,
kind
like...
of. But 1,000 people?
Even, like... Even though it was a long time ago and things aren't
I'm
the
sure
same.
they still do.
And the practices aren't the same, but you still, even being a cop or an investigator, you know that you're not supposed to let, people just run all over the crime scene.
Damn, how you fuck up that bad?
Yeah. And it's so crazy because, like, he's even said that the whole case has haunted him, like, to his very end of his career because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
I bet it did. All right, and the last question is, how could the case have been handled better? First off, secure the scene.
Tell you.
Secure the scene.
That's the first thing, Captain. Get it right.
Wear gloves. Wear boots. Sanitize.
Tell you.
Follow proper procedure. Do your
If
job.
If you don't know, bro, ask a partner. Have somebody come help you. Like,
I swear, ask questions if you don't know.
Geez,
but, like, honestly, how do you fuck up that bad? Like, sometimes I just feel like they be taking it as a joke.
Yeah, no, seriously, I feel that same way because it's like,
how do you just allow certain things to happen?
Right.
That's just wild.
And then the fact that they gave up so quickly.
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
damn.
but
I mean, I get it though because there was nothing to go off of.
Nothing, especially after the crime scene being contaminated.
But damn.
How are you gonna pick out?
It's practically out the
who
window.
did what?
It's practically out the window.
No.
Yeah.
Impossible. They fucked it up for themselves. Unfortunately, but hey.
That's a big one too. That's a big fuck up.
Honestly, they probably weren't prepared though. If it was a small town, the police force, they usually don't deal with that type of crime.
Yeah, no,
so they don't know what to do.
Yeah,
when
nobody
it happens.
was expecting that at all because the town.
And that's typically how it is with these cases where the police like fuck up really bad. It's because it typically is in a smaller town where they're usually just not having to do that type of work. They're not used to those types of cases and investigations.
So when it comes up, it's
so
like,
you gotta learn
shit.
somehow. Yeah, and of course you're gonna make mistakes on the way, but it just sucks because it's like there shouldn't be mistakes with this type of stuff. But hey,
it's so sad, man. I really wish that
it is.
I don't even know. No, DNA testing and stuff wasn't it?
I mean, no, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, no,
it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, they done
with 1,000 people.
Stepped over all. Yeah, they done stepped over all that shit.
So yeah. That is all we have for you guys this week for episode 21.
21, bro. 21. Look at that. Ain't that a blessing, though? It's kind of cool. Cause, like,
is it going to be the 4th of July when this episode drops? No, probably the next one.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, let us know what you guys think about this case, and
feel free to look into it if you find something out.
Let us know what we missed, because there wasn't a lot on this case that we were able to find, so we did what we could. And honestly, this case just leaves me with hella questions.
Exactly. I have so many to ask so many people.
Okay, so we have reached the end of episode 21. Wow, we're officially just in the 20s.
Yeah, it's nice.
Holy shit.
Literally.
So, I was gonna wait, but around like episode 25, episode 25, we're gonna start trying to find guests to be on the show of DTM.
So,
we want to start having guests by episode 50. But we do have an upcoming collaboration with another podcast coming up. So just keep your eye out for that.
Definitely stay tuned, man. Stay tuned for that.
That'll be coming fairly soon. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that one. And, yeah, if anybody's interested in being a guest on the show, if you're a small business, another small podcast,
content creator.
Yeah, content creator. Or even if you have, like, a cool-ass job or you're interested in the things that we're interested in, then hit us up and we can talk about you being on the show with us.
It'll be a fun time for us, for you. Hey.
Oh, yes, for sure. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 21. This is like my third time saying it. But, yeah, give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, whatever you listen to us on.
Leave us a comment on YouTube, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, it really helps us out, and it just lets us know that you guys enjoy the content. You guys enjoy the podcast. And, yeah. Anything else? Any kind words?
Yo, man. It's fucking summer. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. That's it.
Stay breezy.
Stay cool. Stay hydrated.
For real. So with that being said, I've been your host, Sav.
And I've been your host, DJ.
And this has been Deeper Than Most. We did it. And it's starting to cool down in here.